Hey everyone, welcome to the Wildrift Patch Notes 5.1, where I will be discussing the different changes and how it affects the current meta. Without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, a brief rundown, Wildrift Patch Notes. Let's see what we have here. Kalista, which will be released later. New AD carry or Dragon Lane champion. I think she's gonna be really good, especially with the tank support meta. A lot of knockups, engages, and good on securing objectives as well. We'll see if she's gonna be overtuned, just like the latest release, which was Kindred. Wild Pass is gonna be Fizz, so if you're a Fizz enthusiast, this is gonna be perfect for you. Luckily, we're a jungle main, even though Fizz jungle is viable. I'll just get this for the free skin as well as the Poro energy that we could get. Next season reward skin will be Brom. Support mains are happy. Perfect for the Kalista Brom, really good lane as well with the Brom passive as well as the Kalista ultimate giving so much crowd control. Then we have here Kalista's Odyssey. Ruination event is now available. So let's see on what's gonna be the event. Most likely it's just a daily login event, which is really good. Simple and rewarding. Next is champion changes. Azul is getting a nerf. Thank you. This champion is so strong late game. Literally zero counterplay. All bruisers are crying against Azul since they can't get close due to the third skill, first skill, and ultimate, plus Rylai's. Then we go to Fiora, who's getting a small change, but this is actually big, especially for the Fiora mains, because now you could use your second skill while dashing with your first skill. And this allows you to possibly outplay your opponent, and it makes the champion a lot smoother to play overall. Next up is Jhin, getting an AD buff 4% to 4.5. So if we do some quick maths, 4 times 14 is 56, and then now it's 4.5 times 14, 63. 63 minus 56 is a 7% AD buff. This may look small at first, but if you look at Jin's AD, it's super high because of his passive usage. So assuming that he has 300 AD with a 7% buff, he will get 321 AD. So plus 21 on every attack and skill. After this, we go with Yi, who's gotten a mini rework. Big change on Meditate. Damage reduction increases to 90% during the first 0.5 seconds. So you could use this to try to decrease the burst of your opponents if you're able to time this skill perfectly. Third skill also resets attacks. So I think what you could do is auto-attack third skill. That way you would hit twice really fast, which is a very interesting interaction. And then here, Highlander, they removed the old passive. They made it now Meditate, cooldown 90%, and other abilities 70%. So they just made Meditate higher. This allows you to get a reset with the Highlander, and then you could immediately use Meditate to reduce the damage that will be used onto the Master Yi. Then we go with Syndra. I think this is just a QOL change. There's nothing much new with this champion. Then we go to Talon, who's getting another nerf for the second time. Damage to monsters is now at 70%. So something that you can think about is instead of going for max W, you can go for max Q so that it would still make your clear quite fast. You just want to use the W for the double proc on your passive. Urgot, really low-key OP pick. Finally, getting some nerfs. Very interesting. So they reduced his attack damage per level as well as the passive usage. Before, they buffed this champion, making the passive always available once he hits level 13. Now they're decreasing it a bit because of this maximum HP is so broken from 6.5 to 5%. So it's a 1.5% damage nerf, which is kind of big. But I think Urgot is still gonna be such a strong champion. Super tanky and underrated. Wukong, what did they change here? They just reworded the text because it's so long. It's still the same. Very similar to the Nico second skill with the new Wukong rework. And then the first skill, they removed the healing. They made it an increased damage effect. Saya, getting some love, increasing, or rather decreasing the cooldown from 16 to 14. And then increasing the attack speed from 50 to 60, 10% attack speed buff. Really good. And then a small buff onto the blade collar, which is the third skill, from 80% to 90%. Not really much, but if they over buff this, then it's gonna make armor penetration Saya meta. So it's something that they don't want to overtune. But overall, I think these are good buffs, especially since she's lagging behind the big 3 ADCs, which are Zeri, Kaisa, Lucian, and even Ezreal. Zyra, what is this? Enemy champions deal 40% damage to Thorn Splitters. Oh, so they're making skills deal less damage to the Zyra plants. Not much of a change, but probably will help her a bit. And the new item, Terminus. This is gonna be an AD/AP item. Examples that can use this new item perfectly would be Kaisa and Kale, since this gives you Armor Pen and Magic Pen. So this is best on those champions who could make use of AD and AP stats. Removed item, Hullbreaker, RIP, Inting Sion, and those nasty split pushers. Thank God. As a jungler, super stressful to fight those Hullbreaker top laners, whether it's my teammate or the opponent. If it's my team, it's literally 4v5. I can't do anything. Meanwhile, if it's on the opposing side, I always have to take note of my side lane because there's a random Sion pushing my base. Item changes, Needlessly Large Rod, minus 5 AP, minus 5 AP also on Blasting 1. Then we go to the biggest change of the patch, which is the Light and Ruin item theme, wherein there are at least 10 items that got a reworked based on the Light and Ruin formula. For example, Horizon Focus got a bit more expensive, but it got an increase in AP plus ability haste. The only drawback is that it doesn't give any more HP, which makes you more of a glass cannon. So what did they change here? They removed the old passive, don't mind this. The new passive now, if you're damaging an enemy from 600 units away, it reveals them for 6 seconds and increases damage dealt to them by 12%. So this is perfect for the long-range mages like Lux, Ziggs, etc. If you hit someone with your Q, you could follow up with your ulti and then bam. Increase, possibly one-shot your opponent. And then when Hyper Shot is triggered, it reveals all enemy champions within 1,200. This is very interesting. 15-second cooldown. So if you combine this with Ingenious Hunter, you could probably get a free reveal every 10 seconds. Very interesting dynamic, and a lot of mages would most probably pick this up. Next is Infinity Orb. So with the light items, literally every item got more expensive, but in exchange for better stats. Infinity Orb got more expensive by 300, but the AP gets increased by 10. New build path, and now from 35% health to 45% health. And overall, I think this is really good because usually people buy Infinity Orb as a late game item, and making this 45% execute would allow people to burst targets that are below 50% HP. Then we go to Harmonic Echo from 27 to 3000. The newest change here is that it's increased by 5 from 130 to 135. And now every 10 ability haste you have increases healing by 3%. So you could possibly go for a pure ability haste build with Fumble Winter, Harmonic Echo, perfect item for Sona, letting her heals be even stronger. Can also work on Soraka or even Nami. After this is Riftmaker plus 100 gold, but you get 10 AP. So the new thing here is that your stack damage from 3%, it's now down to 2.5, but the stacks has increased from 3 to 4. So overall, if you're able to get full stacks, it's now gonna be 10% before its maximum of 7.5%. This is good for champions that can stack this up, like Gwen, Kayle, even Ezreal, really good. 10% true damage is kinda nutty right now. After this, we have Yumus Ghostblade. It got more expensive by 200. Still can be completed before the first objective. And what did they change here? From 40 move speed to 50 move speed and 5 to 10 armor pen at 100 stacks. So not only do you get the base armor pen, now you get additional armor pen from Ghostblade. And then even after you attack, the armor pen will last for 3 seconds. I think this item is the most broken item right now, which is really good because as a jungler, almost all AD junglers will buy this, and this will encourage literally every jungler to get this item even more. Dawn Shroud plus 300. Wow, that's a big jump on the cost. What's the big deal here? You heal yourself now based on the damage dealt. Interesting. Don't think that people will buy this. There's so much other items that you could get. Harmonic Echo, really good. Dawn Shroud, you probably just get this if there's an Akali in the other team. Then we go to the ruined items. Rabadon, AP decreased by 10. But in exchange, from 20 to 45, you get 20 to 55. So you get 10% increase, which I think is better when it gets to the late game. So this discourages people from getting Rabadon first item or even second item. It's going to be a very staple third item onwards. And then there's a drawback. All ruined items always have a drawback. It reduces your health by 10 to 100. You know what? We'll take it as long as you get more damage to allow you to one-shot your opponents. Next is Blade of the Ruined King, getting less expensive. Ghost Blade is more expensive than Bork right now. Oh, very interesting. You get increased physical vamp, okay, but the melee attacks got nerfed from 10 to 9. And you get more move speed from 25 to 40%. Okay. I don't think this is broken by any means. The effect is that your HP gets reduced by 10 to 100, which is okay. More lifesteal. If you're able to lifesteal enough, you would be able to mitigate this reduction. Ruin Infinity Edge from 3-4 to 3-2. Every ruined item is getting cheaper. More stats, but there comes a cost. Critical strikes from 200 to 225 instead of 175, which is quite big. But it reduces your HP by 10 to 100. Not sure if people will buy this. It depends. People might still get the Bloodthirster for the increased AD and stability rather than the Infinity Edge, which is just pure damage. This is good though if you want to go for one-shot builds. Okay, Amaranth's Twin Guard. Gain 1 stack of Endurance with enemy champions, max 5. Reduced to 3 stacks at maximum stacks. Gain size, tenacity, and increase armor by 35%. Plus magic resist by 35%. Okay, so you could easily proc Amaranths right now before it takes 5 stacks, which is about 5 seconds. Now you just need to be in combat for 3 seconds before proccing this item. It also increases your armor by 5% plus MR. Not much of a change. This is the better change, I guess, because usually people get bursted before being able to proc this item. New Withering reduces your attack damage by 1 to 15. Oh, that's not a good drawback. So this discourages Amaranths from being bought by Baron laners or junglers, since you always want to make use of your DPS as well. For example, Hecarim, maybe people will just buy the Cowl instead. Literally the same formula, and you get the HP that you need to become more sustainable. Definitely for support, it's okay to get this item. Warmogs, if you have at least what? They nerfed it? 950 to 1150? Now you can't go second item Warmogs. You have to buy another Ruby Crystal or something. Very interesting. From 6 seconds to 4%, 4 seconds. From 6 seconds to 4 seconds, restore 5% HP per second. Is it worth? Let's see. New Strength of Wills restores 0.3% max health per second, but it reduces your attack damage by 1 to 15. Definitely still works on the supports because you need to get the regen as soon as possible. Debatable for the Baron laners and junglers. Most likely, if you're gonna get this as a Baron laner or jungler, you definitely need Heartsteel Titanic to be able to mitigate the reduction as well as make use of the new passive. Sterak's Gauge. Okay. Triggering Lifeline empowers you, removes all crowd control effects except airborne, and grants tenacity 50% for 4 seconds. Okay. So they reduced it, but it's a free QSS. This is good if you're using Irelia and you're against so much crowd control. If you proc the Sterak's, you could immediately continue your combo. And I think it's very interesting item to build now. Not gonna lie. Reduces your movement speed by 5. You know what? I'll take it for the free QSS anytime of the day. New Keystone Empowerment. Hitting an enemy champion with 3 consecutive attacks makes them vulnerable, increasing all damage taken by 8%. Once vulnerable, your attacks deal true damage, and when target exits, it enters the cooldown and cannot be applied to any enemy for the next 6 seconds. Oh! So it's not it's like press the attack with a slight rework. It's not something that you could automatically proc. It's only good for one target. So once the 6 seconds is up, you cannot use this on any other target for the next 6 seconds. Very interesting change. Okay. This is still probably good on Renekton, but it's not as consistent as Kraken Slayer wherein you could proc this against anyone anytime. This is like a nerfed Kraken Slayer in my opinion. But it's good late game because it's percentage. Especially if you want to burst someone as soon as possible. Arcane Comet. Damaging a champion with an ability hurls a comet. When the comet hits, next comet damage increase. Oh, what's this? Okay. A bit different from the PC version, or I'm just tripping. I don't know. But basically, this is good for poke champions. They don't have to go Airy anymore because Airy is a defensive and offensive keystone. Meanwhile, Arcane Comet is purely an offensive keystone. Perfect for champions like Ziggs, Lux, but let's see if they're gonna prefer this over First Strike Gold. New Resolve Onslaught gain 5% tenacity plus additional tenacity based on number of enemy champions alive nearby. Okay, this is like Hunter Titan, right? Tenacity is capped at 20%. So instead of Perseverance or the Legend Tenacity, there's another one that's available in the Resolve 3. Interesting. Maybe we can get this if there's a lot of crowd control, but if there's only like 1 or 2, we'll just stick to Perseverance because it gives additional armor MR as well. New Domination Psychic Wave. The next attack after damaging a champion with an ability and vice versa creates an explosion. So this is like Arcane Comet 2.0. Really good if you're using poke champions. Hit someone with an ability. Not sure if it works if you use 2 abilities or you have to auto attack before this procs. But nevertheless, it's good on burst champions, definitely like Talon, Kha'Zix, because they always want to use an ability and auto attack to be able to burst down your opponent. Rune changes, empowered attack every 10 to 8 against champions only. Oh no, it's not gonna work on jungle camps anymore. Rip. Oh well, bye bye empowered attack. It's fine, we have Psychic Wave now. This is our new empowered attack. I'll take it. Removed runes, Kraken Slayer. Okay, they changed this for the Scuffed PTA. Gameplay, Extali Scorpion on the Baron lane. This is like Skarner mini version. Instead of getting it on Wildrift, we just get a small Scorpion. Okay. Elemental Magic Circle. So this is on the Baron lane alcove. If you're able to get this mini objective, it helps you push the lane. So you want to take this if you want to shove the lane or take tower plates. But of course, if you want to freeze the lane, you don't want to take this gimmick. Slow resist. Adjusted the interaction between slow and slow resist effects. Slow effect is now affected by slow resist. Okay, that never worked, really. Slow effect is now affected by slow resist. Oh, this is good. Because Blitzcrank literally can't move after going double overdrive. Self-applied slow effects caused by abilities are not affected by slow resist for other champions. Like, slow effects caused by fear, charm, or when the target is pulled are not affected. Okay. When slow is applied multiple times, slow resist will be calculated individually for each instance of slow first. The final slow effect will then be calculated based on the total number of slow stacks the champion has. Okay, so basically what this means is that if you have any anti-slow effects, it's gonna be better, especially if the opponent puts a lot of stacks on slow. For example, Rylai plus a slow effect. If you have like tenacity, it should be a bit better. And then super long range ability display. Targets within the range indicator will trigger the ability minicam. If multiple targets are within the range indicator at the same time, the minicam will display the enemy nearest to the champion. I have no idea what this means, but we'll see in game. I think it's just a QL change, which is fine. Game effects optimization. Game effects optimization. Strategy panel opens up the scoreboard tab by default. Okay. Quick chat messages will be generated and recommended in real-time based factors, including but not limited to the champion you are using, the lane you are in, enemy activity. So this is just like I think it's like the Poro. It helps you convey information better without actually typing it. Okay, not bad. When recommended quick chat messages are available, they will be displayed in the quick chat section, which is the thing you click on the upper right. No more than 2 smart in-game quick chat messages will be recommended. Okay, smart in-game will not overwrite the quick chat messages you have set outside the game. Okay, interesting. And then added a toggle. I like to leave this on. Flash combo is really good. I don't know why people don't like it. It's literally a free cheat. No skill required to use Jarvan EQ Flash or even the Galio E Flash. Lastly, skins, Soul Fighter, ADC, Jungle Baron, and ADC. Wow, so much ADC. ADCs are the richest people in Wildrift, I guess. Prestige Sinjao, no way I'm getting that. I hate using keys. Food Spirit Fizz, and Glorious Bro. Not bad. Another Gwen skin. Extra bits, okay. Fix the issues where if players tap the cheering poro, the in-game chat box may not appear. Oh my god, they finally fixed this. My chat always breaks if someone presses the taunt on the loading screen. Fix the issues where casting the flash in the direction causes the target's airborne indicator bar to reset. Okay, I've never encountered it because no one plays Jarvan anymore. Okay. Fix a soul where a soul singularity can be used to kill someone Rift Herald. Ooh, okay. Fix an issue where Warwick follows Aurelion Soul's movement after clamping onto him with Jaws of the Beast while a soul is dashing. It's the Q interaction, okay? It's just some bug fixes. Fix the issues where Zoe's damage from first strike would awaken targets she had put to sleep. I think this also works on Lilia because sometimes people just go awake after getting ulted by Lilia. It shouldn't happen. Not sure what's the issue, but let's see. Oh well. Fix the issue where Lux allies do not receive the second phase of prismatic barriers shielding when cast at maximum distance. Okay. So some QoL changes. I think this is the biggest one. They finally fixed chat. Next is bring back all chat. And with that, we are done with our patch breakdown. The biggest winner is probably Master Yi with all of the skill animation. Now he's more skill expressive than a brain dead press RQ Q Q Q Q. You can actually outplay with this champion if you're able to time your meditate well. Plus the Wuju style, the double attacks will make him a lot scarier. And then another winner would be Poke Champions, because Poke Champions get a really good buff on the Horizon Focus. Not only that, Infinity Orb also increasing their burst. And then they also get a new rune, which is Arcane Comet. Plus, Psychic Wave. Well, the Psychic Wave, I think, is more for the Assassins rather than the Poke Champions. But nevertheless, I think Poke Champions will be happy this patch. And with that, that is it for our patch breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed. If I missed something or you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to comment down below. That is it for me. Thanks for watching and peace out. Ciao, ciao. Bye.